My sister called me in tears, saying her husband left and she had nothing. I let her move in. A month later, I came home to find her hosting a dinner party in my house, saying, "I always knew I'd end up with a nicer life." She'd changed the locks and told the guests, "She's just a guest here now." I left quietly. The next morning, I froze the bank account she was secretly living off of. My name's Erica, I'm 42, and I live in a small town right outside of Albany, New York. It's not much, but I've built a life here. After my divorce, I bought a quiet 3-bedroom ranch house with a little fenced yard for my rescue dog, Marley. No kids, no partner. Just peace. I've always been the solid one in my family. I went to college, paid my own way, built a steady career in finance. I don't chase drama, I don't ask for help, and I don't expect it from anyone, especially not my sister. Nicole is 39. She was the one with the big personality. Always had friends around her. Dated flashy guys. Ended up marrying Darren, a guy who owned a couple of auto shops and talked like he was some big deal. He was all about fast cars, expensive vacations, and calling other people losers if they didn't keep up. We weren't close growing up. She always called me the boring one. But I didn't care. She had her life. I had mine. We didn't talk much. Texts on holidays, that was it. Until 5 weeks ago. It was a Thursday night. I was halfway through a microwave dinner when my phone rang. I almost didn't answer because I saw her name and figured it was another family thing I didn't want to deal with. But I picked up. She was sobbing so hard I thought someone had died. Could barely understand her. I sat down, heart pounding, thinking maybe our mom was in the hospital or something. Nope. Darren left her. Took the house, the money, the cars. Said the business was in his name only. Told her she was a mooch and she should have signed a prenup. Then he locked her out. Nicole was crying and yelling, saying she didn't even have enough money to get a motel room. That she had nowhere to go. That she needed me. And for reasons I still don't fully understand, I told her, "Come stay with me. I'll help you." She took a bus up the next morning. I picked her up at the station. She looked rough, barely any makeup, which was rare for her. Greasy hair tied back, and 2 giant suitcases. She hugged me like she was drowning. I told her she could stay in the guest room for as long as she needed. At first, things were okay. She slept a lot. Cried. Told me how Darren cheated on her with some 24-year-old girl from the gym. How he laughed while kicking her out. I believed her. I felt bad. I even offered to cover some of her expenses until she got back on her feet. I added her to one of my credit cards, my mistake, so she could get groceries and essentials. I told her to check with me before making big purchases. I trusted her. That first week, she spent $300. Mostly food, a few toiletries. Okay, fine. But by the second week, I started noticing little things changing in the house. My blue throw pillows were gone, replaced with these gold ones that didn't match anything. Then the towels in my bathroom disappeared. She put in these overpriced hotel-style white ones and told me, I just wanted to make things feel cleaner. She replaced my coffee table books, rearranged my pantry, threw out my kitchen rug. And when I asked her about it, she laughed and said, "I'm just nesting. I need to feel normal again." I didn't want to fight. I told myself, she's hurting, let her have this. But then it got worse. I came home one night from work and there were 2 strangers, friends of hers, sitting at my kitchen island drinking wine and laughing. I walked in like I was a stranger in my own house. Nicole barely looked up. Just said, "Oh, hey. Meet Mel and Jessica. We're just having a little wine night." No heads up. No text. Nothing. I told her after they left that it wasn't okay. She said she didn't think I'd mind. That the house felt too big and quiet. I started getting annoyed. Then she stopped doing laundry. Left dirty dishes in the sink. The guest room looked like a bomb went off. Still, I said nothing. But the real breaking point came a week later. It was a Friday. I'd had a long day at work. Systems audit. Total mess. I was exhausted. I just wanted to come home, pour a glass of wine, and take a hot shower. But when I got to my front door, my key didn't work. I jiggled it. Tried again. Nothing. I stared at the door, confused. Was it jammed? I rang the bell. No answer. But I could hear music playing inside. Laughter.
Talking.
I knocked. Waited. Knocked again, louder. Still nothing. Something inside me started buzzing. Not fear, something worse. That heavy gut feeling when you know something is very, very wrong. I walked around the side of the house, through the backyard, and tried the patio door. It opened. What I saw inside made me stop cold. There were at least 10 people in my house, dressed up like it was a dinner party. My dining room had been totally redecorated, new table runner, different centerpiece, dim lighting, candles. My pictures had been taken down and replaced with framed prints I'd never seen. And Nicole. She was in my kitchen, wearing a silk dress, holding a wine glass, smiling like she was the goddamn host of some HGTV show. One of the guests looked at me and said, "Oh, is that your sister?" Nicole turned to them, laughed lightly, and said, "Yes. She's just a guest here now." Dead serious. She looked right at me and said it. Then she added, "I always knew I'd end up with a nicer life." Everyone laughed. I didn't say a word. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just turned and walked back out the patio door. I got in my car, drove to the nearest motel, and booked a room for the night. The next morning, I froze the bank account she'd been using. I removed her from the credit card, reported unauthorized charges to the bank. Over $7,000. I called a lawyer. I called a locksmith. And I started planning how to take back what's mine. The locksmith came the same afternoon. I didn't call Nicole. Didn't warn her. Just showed up around noon, when I knew she'd be out based on her busy social schedule. She'd started posting again on Facebook, bragging about her new start, posting filtered selfies inside my home, tagging local places like she lived there. I watched from my car across the street as the locksmith replaced the front door lock and the side door. I had him install a coded deadbolt too. My house, my rules. I changed the Wi-Fi password and the garage door code too. Then I walked inside and took a long breath. It felt like a stage set. Like someone had made a fake version of my life and was playing dress up in it. The kitchen smelled like perfume. My mugs had been moved. My bookshelf was rearranged. My dog's bed was missing. Found it later in the garage, stuffed in a box like trash. My bedroom door was shut. When I opened it, I froze. She'd moved in. My bedding was changed. My clothes pushed to the back of the closet. Makeup and jewelry that wasn't mine all over my dresser. A robe hanging on the back of the door. And on my nightstand, her wedding photo, but cropped to just show her, smiling. I couldn't breathe for a second. I started cleaning.
Purging.
I bagged up everything she'd brought, her clothes, her candles, the ugly pillows, even the new shower curtain. I didn't damage anything. Just packed it all up and left it in the garage. When she came home around 4 p.m., I was waiting in the kitchen. She opened the door, stepped in, and froze when she saw me. "What the hell?" she said, clutching her purse. "I changed the locks," I said. "You don't live here anymore." She laughed. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," I said. "Your name was never on this lease, this house, or the bills. You're done here." Her voice got sharp. "You're seriously kicking me out? After everything I've been through? You tried to take over my house. You threw parties. You spent thousands of dollars. You changed my bedroom. You told people I was just a guest." She dropped her purse. "I needed stability. I gave you life again. You live like a spinster in a nursing home. I made this place warm." I didn't say anything. She stepped closer. "You're jealous. You always have been." I smiled. "Then find someone else to be jealous of you. Because this house is mine, and you're leaving." She tried to push past me to the hallway. I blocked her. That's when she started crying. Real tears. Screaming that she had nowhere to go, that I was cruel, that I was just like Darren. I told her I'd give her until the end of the weekend to collect her stuff. After that, it was going to the curb. Then came the twist I didn't expect. Later that night, I got a call from Darren. His voice was slow and cocky. You kicked her out too, huh?
I didn't know what to say.
He chuckled. She used my money, then tried to say she built that life. You're smarter than me, I'll give you that. She always thinks she can just move in and take over. I asked him why he was calling me. I heard from a mutual friend. Just wanted to say don't be surprised if she pulls some legal crap. She tried that with me too. Fake papers, fake leases. Claimed squatters' rights. Just a heads up. I hung up. And now I was wondering, what exactly had Nicole done in the month she was under my roof?
What did she sign?
What did she change? I started checking the mailbox the next morning. And sure enough, something was coming with my address but her name on it. A letter from the local Department of Social Services. She was applying for housing assistance, claiming she'd been living here permanently. She was trying to establish residency. I wasn't just dealing with a jealous sister. I was dealing with a con artist. That letter from Social Services was dated 2 weeks ago. Meaning, while she was smiling in my face, lighting candles and hosting girls' nights, she was filing government paperwork to plant her roots deeper into my house. I started digging. I called the number on the letter, said I was the homeowner, and asked about any residency filings under her name. The woman on the phone was polite but careful. She couldn't say much. But when I asked, was my address used on her application, there was a long pause. Then she said, I can't give you details, but I would suggest you seek legal help if someone is claiming residence in your home without your permission. That told me enough. I called my lawyer, a woman named Rachel who handled my divorce years ago. Told her everything. She asked one question right away. Did she ever get mail sent to your house?
Yes.
Did she ever contribute financially, rent, utilities, anything with a paper trail?
No.
Rachel sighed. You're in a gray area. But the longer she stays, the more she can claim. I asked what I could do to make her leave. Serve her a 30-day notice. Even if she's not on the lease or deed, some states consider long-term guests to have tenancy rights. Even if she broke in? I asked. Rachel paused. Did she break in? She changed the locks on me, I said. Told guests I was a guest. Does that count? If she changed the locks, you can file a police report. That might push things faster. So I did. I went to the local precinct and told them exactly what happened. I even showed them photos from my phone, the party setup, the people I didn't know, the picture of my dog's bed stuffed into a box. The officer took a report, said it was unusual, but he'd seen crazier. He told me what I hoped I wouldn't hear. Technically, she's not a burglar. You let her stay. This is civil. Civil meant slow. It meant legal letters. Notices.
Time.
So I took Rachel's advice. Served Nicole with a formal 30-day notice, sent certified mail, and taped a copy to her bedroom door. The deadline was now ticking. But Nicole wasn't going quietly. That weekend, she came back drunk. I could smell the liquor before she even opened her mouth. She stormed into the kitchen, yelling that I was throwing family into the street, slurring about how this house is as much mine now as yours. I recorded it on my phone. I didn't say a word. Then she made her biggest mistake. She slapped me. It wasn't hard, but it was enough. I called the cops. This time, they came fast. Nicole screamed, tried to act like I was hurting her, but they'd seen this dance before. She was arrested for assault. That night, the house was quiet for the first time in weeks. But the peace didn't last. 2 days later, I got a call from an unfamiliar number. It was her attorney. She was pressing charges against me, claiming wrongful eviction, theft, and damage to her property. I was stunned. This is your sister? Rachel said when I forwarded her the letter. She's trying to bleed you dry. Nicole was playing the long game. She wasn't just trying to take over my house. She was trying to replace me in it. I didn't sleep for days. Nicole had filed a formal complaint, claimed I'd stolen her things, that I'd physically intimidated her, that I locked her out of our shared home. She included fake receipts, ones I later found out she made herself, and copies of texts twisted to make her look like the victim. She even showed a screenshot of her Facebook profile, where she'd listed my house as her current residence. I looked at all of it in disbelief. My own sister was trying to ruin me. Rachel was calm, but serious. We'll fight it. But she's not just going to walk away. She wants something. Money. A settlement. Or the house itself. I said no. I wasn't paying her a dime. I was done being the nice one. Rachel nodded. Then we go all the way. That meant court. And court meant exposing everything. I went through my bank statements, pulled every charge she made, showed them where the money came from. I had screenshots from the party, the Facebook posts, even texts from Darren confirming this wasn't the first time she pulled a stunt like this. I found an old friend of hers from Florida, Maya, who told me Nicole had tried to move in with her last year. Same pattern. Sad story, couch, credit card, then chaos. Maya wrote a sworn statement. I also had the footage. From the security camera I'd installed outside my garage months earlier, forgotten until now. It showed Nicole changing the locks, letting strangers into the house.
Clear as day.
Rachel compiled it all. Court was brutal. Nicole showed up in a fitted black dress, playing the victim, sniffling as she told the judge how I turned on her after she was abandoned, how she helped fix up the home, how I lashed out violently when she made it feel warm. She called me cold,
Controlling.
said I was jealous of her because she had the better life. When it was my turn, I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I let the photos speak. The bank records. The testimony. I played the recording of her drunken rant. Showed the footage of her locking me out. Let the truth do the damage. Nicole's face changed slowly. The judge wasn't buying her story. He called her behavior deceptive and manipulative. She was ordered to drop all claims and leave the house immediately. But that wasn't the end. The judge also ruled that she had to repay $6,500 of the money she used from my card. A civil judgment. She screamed in the hallway. Told me I destroyed her life. I told her flatly, "You tried to steal mine." Nicole disappeared after that. I later heard from a cousin in Connecticut that she was sleeping on someone's couch again, burning through another chance. I didn't care. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't change me. I used to think I was the strong one because I stayed quiet, kept peace, let things slide. But that's not strength. Strength is knowing when to stop someone from walking all over you. Strength is saying no, even to family. I made a mistake letting her in. I thought I owed her. I thought blood meant loyalty. But all it did was blind me to the truth. Nicole didn't want help. She wanted control. She didn't fall. She jumped and expected me to catch her while she dragged everything I built down with her. Not again. My house is quiet now. Marley sleeps peacefully again. The walls are mine. The photos are back up. And the locks? I changed them one last time.
Just in case.